Hello students, and once again I welcome you all to my online class. I am Shivani, your English teacher. Students, today I am making this video for class A. As we were doing the lesson, The Word in a Wall, written by Gerald Durrell. Today we will complete this lesson, hopefully. In this lesson, we had discussed few incidents till now. Like it was an incident in Gerald Durrell's life. One day he went outside the garden. He saw there scorpion. At first glance, the scorpion looked like a fur coat. But with a closer inspection, he got to know that it was not fur coat, but it was actually the tiny babies of scorpion which were clinging on their mother's back. Gerald wanted to take them. Gerald wanted to see them growing up. And with that intention, he took that scorpion, he put those scorpions into a matchbox and he brought that into his house. When he reached home, unfortunately, it was the lunch time and the lunch was being served. He did not get time to go into his bedroom and to put it in a proper place. So he just placed that matchbox onto the mantelpiece of dining room. And well, after that, what happened? We saw Larry, his brother, finished the lunch and he went there, he took the matchbox, and as soon as he opened the matchbox, he saw the scorpions were out from that matchbox. Obviously, everybody was not expecting this, so they were quite scared. And now we will see what happens next in the story. So today we will complete this lesson. So let's start today's video. So students, here are the question that I have given you in my previous video. Question number 1. What did the female scorpion look like? The female scorpion looked like it had worn a pale fawn fur coat. Okay. Second, why did Gerry think that a scorpion had a fur coat on? What was the reason that Gerry thought that scorpion had a fur coat on it? Gerry thought that scorpion was wearing a fur coat because her tiny babies were clinging on their mother's back. So actually it was not a fur coat, it was the tiny babies of scorpion. Question number 3. Why did Gerry smuggle the scorpion into the house? So what was the reason behind his smuggling the scorpion into the house? Gerry smuggled the scorpion into the house so that he might keep them and watch them grow up. Question number 4. Where did Gerry keep the scorpion into the house? Gerry kept the scorpion into a matchbox and placed it carefully on the mantelpiece in the drawing room. Okay, students, this homework should be in your fair copies. So let's start today's session. So we were on this paragraph, students. He uttered a roar of fright that made Lucrezia drop a plate and brought Roger out from beneath the table, barking wildly. So as we have just now discussed what happened till now. As Larry saw those scorpions, he got frightened. He was so scared of that scorpions that he just shouted in a fright. He uttered a roar of fright and he shouted so loudly in fear that made Lucrezia, a girl, she dropped her plate out of fear and she brought her dog Roger from under the table. And because Roger was also very much scared, he was confused whatever was happening. So Roger also started barking wildly. With a flick of his hand, he sent the unfortunate scorpions flying down the table, and she landed midway between Margot and Leslie. Now, Larry out of fear, what he did, he just gave one flick of his hand. Flick means a short and flexible movement. So he just, with one stroke, with one movement of his hand, he just threw all the scorpions under the table. And those scorpions, that female scorpion was landing between Margot and Leslie. Leslie is the friend of Larry. Scattering babies like confetti as she thumped on the cloth. Confetti is the little and small short one papers, that colored papers that are generally used on occasions or any festivals. People basically used confetti on birthday celebrations or some other kinds of celebration. It's the colorful little papers as she thumbed on clothes. So the babies of that scorpion, that those babies were scattered on the cloth as like the colored papers. Leslie leapt to his feet, overturning his chair, and flicked out desperately with his napkin, sending the scorpions rolling across the cloth towards Margot, who promptly let out a scream that any railway engine would have been proud to produce. So the whole situation got really confusing. Everywhere there was just chaos. Leslie, whom I just said you that Leslie is a friend of Larry. He started jumping. Leapt means jump. He started jumping to his feet and he just overturned his chair. And he started, he took one napkin and he tried to roll that scorpions on that napkin. And that cloth came towards Margot, and Margot was already very much scared, and she shouted in a very loud voice. He shouted in that loud voice that even any engine could not produce that much sound. So as you can see, everywhere there is chaos. Everybody is scared. Mother, completely bewildered by this sudden and rapid change from peace to chaos, put on her glasses and peered down the table to see what was causing the pandemonium, and at the same moment Margot in vain attempt to stop the scorpion's advance, hurled a glass of water at it. Now what happened? Everybody was running from here to there, but only Mother was there, who did not know anything. Mother had no idea that what was going on. So Mother was quite surprised by this sudden and fast change, because few seconds ago there was complete peace on the dining table, but now everything was changed into chaos, confusion. So what did Mother do? Mother just put the glass and she looked. She peered means searchingly, looked searchingly. She looked down under the table to see what was going on. Pandemonium means extreme confusion. So she looked under the table to see, to examine that what was actually reason, what was happening. And at the same time, Margot, who was so much scared, and she wanted to stop the scorpions to come near her, she took one glass of water and she tried to throw that water on that scorpions. Okay, so have you understood the situation? What was happening? Mother was confused. She looked under the table to figure out what was happening, and at the same time Margot, who was very scared, she took a glass of water and she tried to throw that glass of water on those scorpions. Now see what will happen next. The shower missed the animal completely, but successfully drenched Mother, who, not being able to stand cold water, promptly lost her breath and sat. Now this was something unexpected. Margot threw water on scorpions, but you know, that was not the appropriate thing to do, I guess, because as she threw the water, it missed the animal completely, and somehow that water managed to fall on mother, and that water was directly drenched the mother, and mother was not able to you can say she was not able to hold that water. She was not able to control herself, gasping at the end of the table, unable even to protest. Now the condition of mother was not very good, because she was just gasping means breathing heavily. She started breathing heavily at the end of the table. The scorpion had now gone to ground under the Leslie's plate, while her babies swam wildly all over the table. Now scorpions had gone to the under Leslie's plate, while her babies swam wildly all over the table. Now a scorpion was under the table, but all her babies were spread on the table. All the little tiny babies were scattered on the table. Roger, mystified by the panic but determined to do his share, ran round and round the room, barking hysterically. Now everybody was scared and confused, and also the Roger dog. Okay, hysterically means behaving wildly without any control. When you behave wildly with your uncontrolled you can say emotion, then that is known as hysterically. Mystified means confused. So Roger, mystified by the panic but determined to do his share, ran round and round the room, barking hysterically. So as Roger was also very confused, and he was also in a very panic state, so what he did, he just started running round and round in the room, and he was barking without any control on him. "It's that silly boy again," bellowed Larry, and Larry shouted loudly that it's that stupid boy again. He was saying it for Gerry. Look out, they are coming," screamed Margot, and Margot, out of fear, again started to shout, and she said, look out, they are coming near." "All we need is a book," roared Leslie. "Don't panic. Hit them with a book." And here Leslie gave a very weird suggestion. He said that all we need is a book, and we should not panic, and we should hit them with a book. Means it was the suggestion of Leslie to hit them with a book. Hit whom? Hit the scorpions and the scorpion babies. "What on the earth's the matter with you all?" Mother kept imploring, mopping her glasses. Now mother still couldn't figure out what was actually happening, and she was asking everybody that will you please tell me what on the earth is the matter? What is happening? She had no idea, and she was just kept asking. Imploring means asking, and she was still mopping her glass. She was still doing the stuff, and she was still asking the same question, that what was the matter. "It's that boy. He will kill the lot of us. Look at the table, knee deep in scorpions." And again the brother Larry shouted that it's that boy again. It's the Gerry again. And he said that he will kill us one day, because he is so careless that one day he is going to kill all of us. And he said that please look at the table. The table is covered up with the scorpions. Everywhere there is scorpions. Quick, do something. Look out. And from the other end, Margot was shouting that please do something quickly. I'm very scared. Look out. Quickly do something. Stop screeching and get a book. For God's sake, you are worse than the dog. Shut up, Roger. Okay. And here again Leslie gave the idea and said, please stop shouting and please stop panicking. just give me a book, please get me a book. And he was again, he targeted the dog Roger, and he shouted at Roger also. He said that you are even worse than a dog, means you are not the kind of dog people want to have. You are the worst dog. By the grace of God, I wasn't bitten. Look out, there's another one. Quick, quick. And here, as I have told you, Margot, out of fear, was continuously shouting that look out, there's one more scorpion. Look there is one more scorpion. Oh, shut up and get me a book or something. Leslie asked her for a book. But how did these scorpions get on the table, dear? And mother had no idea. She was so sweet. She was politely asking the question that how can scorpions come on the table, dear? Will you please tell me? That silly boy, every matchbox in the house is a death trap. Now Larry said that silly boy, it is the mistake of silly boy. And who is the silly boy here? Gerry. Larry is saying for his brother that it is the mistake of that boy Gerry. And every matchbox in this house is related to death. Actually, they were very much scared, which wasn't needed. But generally people don't suppose to keep scorpions at the home, isn't it? Look out, it's coming towards me. Quick, quick, do something. Again said by Margot. Hit it with your knife. Your knife, go on, hit it. And Leslie said that this time you hit the scorpions with your knife. And Leslie was motivating Margot and again saying that go on, hit it. Since no one had bothered to explain things to him, Roger was under the mistaken impression that the family was being attacked and that it was his duty to defend them. As Lucrezia was the only stranger in the room, he came to the logical conclusion that she must be a responsible party. So he bit her in the ankle. This did not help the matter very much, since nobody was concerned about Roger, because everybody was scared in themselves, and all they were thinking about themselves. They did not care about explaining things to mother or explaining things to Roger. So everybody was busy in themselves. So Roger was mistaken that family is being attacked by somebody. And as dogs are very honest and dogs are considered to be very loyal, more than even human beings, so for Roger only Lucrezia was the stranger person in the room. So he thought that Lucrezia is the reason why the whole confusion is going on. He thought that Lucrezia is the reason why his family is being attacked. So he started barking at Lucrezia, and also he bit on her ankle. But this matter did not help at all. It was of no use. By the time a certain amount of order has been restored, all the baby scorpions had hidden themselves under various plates and bits of cutlery. Eventually, after impassioned pleas on my part backed up on my mother, Leslie's suggestion that the whole lot be slaughtered was quashed. Quashed means stopped. While the family, still simmering with rage and fright, retired to the drawing room, I spent half an hour rounding up the babies, picking them up in a teaspoon and returning them to their mother's back. So by the time everything was settled up, everything was restored on its place, all the small and tiny babies of a scorpion had hidden themselves under the plates, under the glasses, under the napkins, and eventually means at last what happened? Everybody was silent. The whole situation got very silent. So while the family was still angry and still fearful, they just went to their own roam. And Larry's brother Gerry, he spent half an hour to pick up the babies in a teaspoon, and he just returned them to their mother's back. Then I carried them outside on a saucer, and then with the utmost reluctance released them on the garden wall. Roger and I went and spent the afternoon on the hillside, for I felt it would be prudent means sensible, to allow the family to have a siesta before seeing them again. So, he was quite disappointed, and also he was not very happy with whatever happened that day. So he thought that it would be quite better for him to be away from his family for quite some time. So he just took all the babies and he went outside the dining room. He went in the ground and he dropped the scorpion from where he had taken them. And after that he took Roger with him. He took his dog and he went to the hillside and he spent the afternoon there. He was feeling that it would be quite good if I would stay away from family for quite sometimes. So this was it about this story, and it was a quite good story actually. If you still have anything to ask, you can ask me in the comment section. So in the next video we will discuss the question answers of this lesson. Till then, read out the story again and again, and if you find any confusion, please do ask me. Okay, so take care, be safe.